Welcome to Sit Down Stand Up with John Malkin, the show where comedy meets conversation. Get ready for a ride full of laughs, stories from the stage, and possibly a few surprises. And now, here's your host, John Malkin.
And this is another Sit Down Stand Up with John Malkin. That is moi. I am John Malkin. I'm the host of the show. And I decided to name the show after me because, well, I'm the host. So we continue to just get amazing guests. So lucky. And I tell my kids, you take the right drugs, you can do anything. This guest, I'm so pumped. When I say pumped, because not only the guy's just freaking huge too, but not only is he a hysterical comic, and we're going to talk about his comedy and all that, but check out this background of this gentleman. He's a former professional wrestler. Okay, he's an MMA fighter, personal trainer, motivational speaker. He's been on Jerry Springer twice, which you got to be messed up if you're on Jerry Springer twice. He's 5-time champion, including NWA lightweight champion. He's been doing stand-up for a few years. He's from Massachusetts. This guy is the real deal. Please welcome Joel, the real deal Davis.
John Malkin, brother, what an intro. I love it, man. Sit down, stand up. I'm excited to be here.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And, it's been such a great ride, in my career,
Yeah.
As I started in 91 with Killer Kowalski. And,
who's Killer Kowalski? See, is it now? You're gonna have to. This is so bad. So I'm kind of. I got to plead ignorance when it comes to the wrestling, and I'm not into it. I mean, I know it's out there, and people are so into it. So, but I mean, first of all, before we dive deep, now people listening on the radio, this show, of course, will be posted on my YouTube channel at John Malkin Live, so you get to see the size of this guy. But Joel, the real deal Davis, is one big mofo. You are.
Well, I mean, I guess I am a big dude.
You're a muscular dude, man.
Yeah, man.
You're a muscular dude. Yeah, I'm very intimidated. I'm so glad that I'm on the other side of the screen.
Oh, brother, we're brothers, man. Don't worry about nothing. I work cheap, too. I work for beer if you need someone's on.
Oh, my God. All right, we're going to do business together. So there's so much to talk about because, and obviously this is a show about comedy, but my God, you've got such an interesting background because you got into comedy a few years ago, which I want to talk about, but I'm just so intrigued. I want to talk about your background in wrestling and MMA because that's not everyone does that.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn cool. So give me a little bit of history about that because it's just so freaking cool.
Yeah, John. So, yeah, thanks for asking. So, man, so what happened was I graduated high school in 87.
Okay.
And in the 87, in the 86, 87, I was in what they call the Backyard Wrestling Federation.
Backyard.
So it was actually in backyards of other teenagers. And we had these pro wrestling matches with the old VHS cameras.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man, and my name was the Gentleman Joel. That's how this all started.
Wait, so you guys would set up like actual rinks in a person's backyard?
Actual rinks
with the ropes and everything,
Yeah, John, we had the wooden poles, we had the nylon yellow rope, and we cemented in the poles, and we went right through the winter, dude. And there was only one piece of freaking cardboard, so when you get slammed, you get so. I mean, I basically started in the 80s, but in 91, I trained with Killer Walter Kowalski.
Okay.
He's famous for ripping off Yonkin Eric's ear in Canada.
Oh, wow. Like ripping it off, not biting it off like Tyson, like ripping it.
No, he did not bite like Tyson. He actually used a knee drop from the top rope, caught his opponent's ear, and the ear popped out.
Oh, God.
Because he was Tarzan Kowalski, he became Killer Kowalski. So I had a great class coming up with. I mean, it was a dream I had, John, and I came up with Triple H, Perry Saturn.
Oh yeah.
Some big names, and that was up in Malden in 1991. I started February 5th, 91.
Malden, Massachusetts.
That's
okay.
Right, John. Malden, Massachusetts. That was February 5, 91. I was 21, turning 22 years old.
Right.
In October the 25th of 91, I debuted with IWCCW, International World Class Championship Wrestling. Now, keep in mind, I was a big underdog. I grew up with scoliosis and severe asthmatic.
Wow.
I had scoliosis and severe asthmatic, and the odds were against me, but it was something I really wanted to do. So I debuted IWCCW, which was ICW out of New Jersey, and World Class with the Von Erich brothers in Texas. And I had a great career, man. And
So let me ask you something. How and why did you get into wrestling? I mean, you must have watched it growing up or something. You were excited about it, but then all of a sudden, like you're doing it. I mean, you're setting up the rink, you're jumping off the ropes, probably you're doing the wrestling thing. I mean, what got you? What hit you on the head that made you get into that?
What hit me in the head was I got my first pair of boxing gloves on my 10th birthday.
Oh, okay.
A neighbor named Gene Terry gave me my first pair of boxing gloves when I was 10 years old.
Got it.
And I had 3 of my friends over, and we boxed. And I basically beat the crap out of the 3 of them. One got a busted nose, and I got yelled at by my mom, and they all got sent home early. But I always liked boxing.
So how did you go from boxing to wrestling? Because
I was following it, John. I was following the sport, and I liked it. I always loved entertaining, even
Got it.
as a young kid. You know what I mean?
So you thought the wrestling is definitely more entertaining than boxing. You just get in there and just beat the pulp out of each other. But the wrestling, there's drama, there's personality, there's show. I mean, there's everything. So you like that part of the sport, right?
Yes, John, exactly.
Okay.
So that's why I stuck with the pro wrestling. But I did a lot of boxing. I was boxing in '91 too with Charles Chick Rose, who had brought some boxers to the U.S. Olympics. So I had a little bit of a boxing background in the early '90s. Later into my career in pro wrestling, I actually bowed out in 2003. I retired. I went '91 through 2003. Came back in 2009.
Wow.
My daughter was born in 2005. I got married. I did that gimmick there for a little while, and ended up getting divorced and got back into pro wrestling in 2009. In 2010, I started training kickboxing.
Oh, so you got into. Oh my gosh.
So now, but the crazy thing is, John, you said, what hit me in the head? I don't know. Something's not right there. I mean, I think I'm a little cuckoo without paperwork. What ended up happening was I ended up starting MMA now. So I had the boxing background, professional wrestler, and then I started doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and that was 2010. 2011, I started the cage fighting. Later in my life.
Oh my gosh.
40s, yeah.
So that's cage fighting is like the real deal. I'm not saying that wrestling is not the real deal, but cage fighting, these guys are going in and just pulverizing each other.
It's 95% just fighting. You're right, John.
It's fighting.
There's like 5% show to MMA versus the other way with the pro wrestling. Yeah.
Right.
It's something I always wanted to do, so I did it. I got this tattoo right here. This one here is the.
Jeez, look at this. First of all, look at the size of your arm.
I'm just saying that tattoo means something to me, because I play both sports, man.
See, if you put that tattoo in my body, because my arm is so much smaller than yours, it would cover up my entire body. But you have it like on your arm.
Well, you know what? You're sit down, stand up with John Malkin, dude. You're the radio personality, man.
Yes.
I can't do what you do. I tell
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I seen your picture smiling with the thumb up on the radio like that. People love that stuff.
So when you got in, so as these sports are coming out, like wrestling and boxing, but then MMA comes out, and you're going, oh, that looks cool. I want to get into that, or did you kind of fall into it, or?
That's an awesome question, And I gotta say something, John. I'm being straight. I'm a straight shooter. I keep it real, just like
I could tell. I
don't bullshit, man.
You do not.
Some people like me, some people don't. But I mean,
I like you. I just want to go on the record. I like you, Joel. I like you.
Okay, so
don't hurt me.
We're good. But what my point is what happened was back in 95, 96, UFC started up. And I was wrestling for UCW at a national in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Actually, ringside wrestling at a national in New Hampshire. And I was in the ring. It's a true shoot story.
Did you have a costume and all that, or were you just?
Yeah, it's not a costume, brother. No costumes. It's gear.
No, it's gear. Yeah. So I mean, you didn't wear like the masks and all that. I mean,
I never wore a hood. They call it the hood. I never wore the hood.
The hood. Okay, got it.
Ring jackets.
You got the gear.
I always wear a bandana around my head.
Oh, got it.
And I had the ring jackets. I'd throw the aces out of the deck of the cards to the fans.
Oh, wow.
Part of the gimmick. Yeah, that's part of the gimmick.
That's
Let's
cool.
sign autographs on the cards if they catch
Nice.
there, etc. But back to 95, 96, that was ringside wrestling, and this is what got my interest in the MMA. I just started up. UFC started up in the mid 90s, brand new, and I was wrestling a wrestler named El Loco, a Mexican, but
Okay.
he was really a guy from New Hampshire, an Irish guy, but he was a Mexican in the ring.
He's a Mexican New Hampshire, right?
Mexican New Hampshire.
There's
And
there's like 3 of them up there.
Yeah, John, this guy pissed me off in the locker room, and
Why? Why did he piss you off?
well, he was talking about how
Trash
he was-
talking?
trash talking. He's talking, oh, I'm 6'1". He's talking about his height and how he's gonna beat me and his hometown. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, he's starting to piss me off. Shut up.
Right.
He didn't know me, and what happened was within about a minute 30 in the match, a little over a minute, I hit him with a clothesline, and I knocked him out.
What's a clothesline?
A clothesline right across the throat like that.
Oh, okay. So it's a kind of a punch. Okay.
And he had an aneurysm.
Wait, no.
No, it was
Because of
an
your
aneurysm.
punch?
And it was rigged. He was supposed to win the match.
Oh no. So he
He
died?
didn't die. Thank God he didn't die.
Oh my God. Wait, you
Well, I
punched
hit
him
him.
and he got an aneurysm.
The promoter, his name's Bruce Clausen. He's like, Joel, you got to get into MMA. He says you're brutal. So
I think you need to get into EMT. I mean, you need to help people.
They had in the programs. Real deal Joel Davis knocks out El Loco with loaded elbow pad.
Oh.
They had made off like I had
Popeye.
roll of quarters in my elbow pad, but it was just my arm. Anyway, so
Wait.
that's how I got into MMA.
So when that happened, were you painted as the bad guy or oh, this dude is the real deal? I mean,
Well, I was the real deal, but I was that night in New Hampshire. I was
Yeah.
basically the heel. They call the bad guy, John.
Oh.
He was a local favorite.
Oh.
That's what happened. Sometimes
And he was
it
supposed to
happens.
win the match. Okay.
He
Oh
was
my
supposed
God.
to win.
He was
But
supposed to
win, and
He
when
was
I
supposed to
hit him
win.
with that clothesline because I was angry with him, I just put him out. And the refs, 1, 2, and the ref looked at me. He said, "What do I do?" I said, "Frickin' count 3."
That's right. Oh my! So did he get up or what happened? They had to call.
Oh, he
the
didn't get up. They took him out in the ambulance.
Oh my gosh!
And I ended up, I found out he had an aneurysm.
Oh my gosh!
Clothesline, and the promoter's like, Joel, you got to get into the MMA. It was always in my mind, 95, 96, and I never really pursued it because I was more into the pro wrestling, the entertainment. So.
That's insane. And so real quickly, so you're in MMA. Are you just how long were you in the MMA for? How many years?
MMA from 2010 through 2014.
All right, so 4 years. And
Yeah.
that's I want to talk about how you got the name Real Deal in a second, but that is the real deal. I mean, you were fighting. How did that go?
Well, it didn't go as good as it probably would have if I started in the mid 90s. Because you can remember, I was already into my early 40s. I'm not a young buck like you, John.
I'm older than you. I hate to say it, my friend. I'm older than you. Yeah.
You know what I mean.
But thank you.
I'll give you a compliment. When you get into your mid 40s and in
Yeah.
sport like that, that's a young man's sport. So
It's a young man's sport. But you're a pretty powerful dude. I mean, they're just quicker. What? They're just. I mean.
Well, you got to remember too. It was you had to fight your weight classes. I fought at 160. Right now I'm about 210, but I'm mostly muscle at 210.
Mostly.
I train 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm a big bench press guy, and we
Yeah.
know what's going to happen Friday night.
Well, we're going to talk about that because you got a big event coming up.
I don't know if you want to tell your listeners, but anyways,
Oh, yeah, no, we're
know
telling them.
that I stay in form to be able to go anytime I need to go.
Wow.
Yeah. So
You're working out all the time.
Well, working out, hitting the bag still, and
Yeah.
it's
You're in incredible shape, man.
Thank you, brother. Amen.
Jeez, unbelievable.
When we get out of here, I'll send you the $10 on PayPal.
Oh, I love it. All right,
$10
so
tip for that one.
all right, the Real Deal. How did you get the name The Real Deal? I love that name, by the way, Joel the Real Deal Davis. How did that come about?
Well, I'm the original real deal. I'm the original real deal of professional wrestling. If you look into history.
Oh, okay.
The only other real deal was, of course, Holyfield in boxing. But in '91, I was given that name by a promoter. My name was Joel Davis, and he's pointed at me and he says, He said, I had just got out of the ring. I was wrestling Scott Sharkey, a power lifter out of the Cape Cod area, John, and I had just hit him over the head with a steel chair and pinned him with a big elbow smash from the top rope. And the promoter said, Joe, you're the real deal. And that was it. That became the real deal.
And that's how you got your nickname.
Yep, and I got that
the real
name.
deal.
Fans were chanting real deal, and I kept the name since '91, man.
That's great. It's a great name. That's a great name. Now, do you? So before we start getting into the comedy, you were on the Springer Show twice, which is. To get on that show twice, you got to have a backstory because he just didn't let anyone on. How did that come about? And I got to know, what the heck did you talk about?
Man, I'm going to tell you something.
I mean, you just got impregnated like your best friend's wife. I mean, and then they just find out you do the DNA testing. I mean, what did the real deal talk about on Springer? Two times.
Two times. It was. Okay, so 1999, you got to remember, Springer was being taped, John, in Chicago, Illinois.
Yes, where I'm from originally.
Oh, I love Chicago, man.
Yes.
The Windy City, man. I love
Windy City.
So what ended up happening was in 1999, I was working for an organization out of Reading, Pennsylvania. And I got done with my match that night. And a gentleman named Don McNeil approached me. And he was out of Wisconsin. He says, Joel, he says, I don't know if you've seen any of the video, but when I did Springer and I was really like full time in the pro wrestling, I had my head shaved on the sides. I had the hair. I lived the gimmick,
You had the mohawk going? You had the mohawk going?
Pretty much, man.
Oh, nice. The mullet. Even better.
Yeah, I was like, well, and I wore the white snakeskin boots and everything.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I'm saying. So John McNeil's like, yeah, you got a great look. He says, I'm friends, associate with such and such, dropping names. He says, do you have any interest in flying out to Chicago and being on the Jerry Springer show?
Oh, wow.
What are you talking about? I thought he was bullshit, ripping me, you know what I mean? Right. Who was this guy? Some crazy fan that had too many beers? I mean, what was this guy? Right? Anyways, long story short, that was a Saturday. I was engaged to be married to my wife that I got divorced. The only woman I ever married, that's the mother of my daughter. I was engaged to be married to her. Came back to Massachusetts from Pennsylvania. Got the call on Wednesday. It was the Jerry Springer show.
Oh, my God.
The producer called me. He says, you fly out the next morning. I flew from Rhode Island to the O'Hara Airport in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I went in and they introduced me to this lady that apparently that I had dated back in the day. They found or whatever. I'm like, are you serious? So it was called Secret Lovers Tell All. So I had to talk about it. And I was engaged to be married to another woman in Massachusetts. And I was on the show talking about how I loved this lady. Her name was Faith. And how I tagged her in the hotel last night. Oh man. So that was the first show.
Wait, but was this made up, or did you really have a secret lover?
I had a secret lover, brother.
You did have a secret lover.
I had a nice payday too for that one.
Wow. So you weren't just going on. You weren't just like reading a script. I mean, you literally had a. Did you? So was that the first time your fiance found out you had a secret lover?
Yes, she dropped some dishes in the.
And she still married you.
She did, but we probably shouldn't have got married because we got divorced.
You think?
John, we all make mistakes in life. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I mean, listen, she should have loved you for your honesty. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think that happens too much.
Well, Joel, you're very honest. I'm glad you told me about your secret lover on Jerry Springer. When's the wedding?
And it was nice that you told me right on national television. No, she wasn't happy at all. And
I'm shocked. Come on.
Bro, I did what I had to do. Do I regret going on the Springer show? I get a lot of heat for that, man.
Yeah.
I'm that woman because I try to dating apps once in a while. They look me up and find out I'm on Springer, and then they block me. I don't have a chance sometimes, man. And if that don't get them, some of my comedy gets them. You know what I mean?
Donahue would have been different. Springer, man.
Yes.
That's wait. So real quickly, and then you went on it again.
Yeah. So that
Was this a follow-up, or you found another? What was the topic on that one?
August 91, John. I was on the first time, Secret Lovers Tell All.
Right.
Jerry Springer himself, God rest his soul, walked by me that actual day of that show. And he walked by, and every other word out of his mouth was F, Springer. And he walked by with two of his bodyguards with him. And they walked by, and he stopped and he looked at me. And he says, Joel, you're one effing funny guy. And I didn't think nothing of it. I got a call like a month or two later, and the promoter's like, the producer's like, listen, they love you.
Oh man, you had a fan base.
I don't got any more drama. Like, don't worry about it.
What was it? So what's the topic they gave you to talk about?
You know what they wanted me to do? And this is a shoot. This is exclusive on Sit Down, Stand Up, John Malkin.
Oh, here we go. Breaking news.
I've never talked about this on any podcast, any television program.
Oh my God, I am honored and privileged.
Right now, my man.
Here we go.
Get the call. Joel, Dave, blah, 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 yeah. Springer Show, producer. We need you to come back. They love you, blah, all this shit. I said, what's going on? They're like, listen. I said, I don't have any ex-girlfriends or any more secret lovers. Now I'm married now. Now I'm actually married. We got married like a month before.
Right.
It's like the fall now, you know?
Right.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Then it's like, well, listen, we'll take care of you. We'll pay you well. We'll fly you out there, limousine, hotel. I'm like, talk to me. So the producer says, this is what we're going to do. It's going to be called Secret, or something about secret, or the sexual fetishes revealed. I'm like,
oh my.
Now I'm NWA light heavyweight champion at the time.
Okay, so you're the real deal.
I'm the real deal, and I don't really want to be out there doing some silly shit, you know.
Right. Now, I mean, did you have a sexual? Were they just kind of serving it up to saying, "Hey, show up with something," or like, did you?
No, this wasn't even my fetish. So the fetish was not that I even have really a fetish. The fetish was, John. They wanted me to go on the show, and they were going to put me in a full body cast. And talk about how I love having sex in a body cast. Like,
no way!
I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it.
No!
I swear to God, God's truth. Exclusive.
Oh
right
my
here. Stand up.
Well, how would you have sex in a full body cast, anyways? I mean, was there like a trap door or something?
It's open as your mouth and a pot near your pee-pee.
Yeah, a trap door. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Anyway, so little lederhosen kind of flap or whatever. I don't know.
You could have something there. I don't know how they do that, but I wasn't interested. Within a day or two, I get another call, and they said, "Well, we've got something else for you. It's called Steve Can't Stop Me." So
Steve Can't.
Yeah,
Steve Wilkos, who's got his own talk show. Yeah.
Talk show, and he's a Chicago police officer.
He is. Yeah.
So they're like, Steve Can't Stop Me. Like, Joel, you're crazy. You're wild. We're gonna have you fight with someone. Blah blah. Oh. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what's, you know? And they arranged it. The pay was well. They took care of my accommodations. And the second show was Steve Can't Stop Me. And I flew back out there again. So that's how I was on twice. And
so you went on the second show to fight, and Steve, who normally stops fights, basically couldn't stop you from fight. Who were you fighting? Who were you hitting that show?
Well, I hit some schmuck. Some guy, some pretty boy guy that was there.
He didn't get an aneurysm, did he?
I gave him a headbutt. He fell off the stage. But I said to Steve, I told him, I said, Steve, I don't got no problem with you and the crew, but get the crew ready, baby.
Right.
And I told him, I said, Steve, I'm not staying in my chair.
Oh my God! So funny. This is so funny. This isn't. Joel, you can't script this. I mean, you are scripting this, but this is like, okay. So I want to get into your comedy now because, tell me now. I can't wait to see you live. I've seen some of your clips. First of all, before we dive in, where do people find you online? Let's talk about where they can find you.
Yeah. So thanks, John. So I have my page on Facebook. It's Real Deal Fitness and Conditioning.
Real Deal Fitness and Conditioning. Okay.
That's right. Real Deal Fitness and Conditioning on Facebook.
Okay.
That's the page I have a lot of my bookings on. Some reels. Okay. Some reels.
All right.
A link to YouTube. I have my YouTube channel. You
can
find
nice.
Me on YouTube. I got actually right now close to 150 videos on YouTube.
Wow.
For a while now. Thank you. And but that's everything: motivation speaking, pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So that YouTube channel is just searched by Real Deal Joel Davis.
Okay.
You'll find my YouTube channel. I appreciate anybody who wants to subscribe.
I'm going to.
Thank you. And then I'm also on, Instagram and Twitter.
Yep.
If you put in Real Deal Joel Davis, Instagram or Twitter,
it'll come up.
I'll come up, or TikTok, yeah, I'll come up on there, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm doing a lot right now. I have something really big coming up this Friday the 15th, like you know.
Yes.
And I have a big comedy roast coming up November 22nd. And I just want to mention something because you're close
Yeah.
to New York City,
Yeah.
and I want to mention something to everybody out there. As a stand-up comedian, one of my biggest greatest rushes so far in my run in the wild and crazy world of stand-up, and you know, because you're a stand-up comedian, I love New York City. And
Isn't it great?
It's so great.
Great
And
energy.
yeah, man. I was so happy and so pumped to be able to perform this past April at the late, great Rodney Dangerfield's club called Rodney
Wow.
New York City.
Good for you.
Yeah, man. And, I only
Good for
had
you.
like 5 minutes, but, I was one of the
You know what?
guys, but I did
You
it.
sure you're on the stage, man? That's where the legends. You were standing where the legends stand, man. So that's a huge feat. Good for you.
Thank
My
you.
gosh.
Thank
So you've been doing okay. I mean, you're just incredible because like you tried so many things. Your life is so uninteresting, by the way. I just want you to know.
Oh, thank you. I know.
Yeah. I mean, there's just nothing to talk about. But I mean, you've done some incredible things, and then all of a sudden, a few years ago, you're like, "Hey, stand up." So first of all, stand up comics. We all tap into our the recesses of our lives, the dark periods. We pull up what we think is going to be good material. You've got so much to talk about. But how all of a
There's so
sudden
much dark material, too.
oh my God! But how all of a sudden you go, yeah, no, I'm going to go stand up. I mean, it's phenomenal. You've got this energy. I mean, and I've seen your stuff, and you're hilarious. But what all of a sudden you just go, let's do this now.
Brother, it's something I've always wanted to do.
Okay.
I wanted to wait
Yeah.
till my daughter got older. My daughter's a young adult now, so I'm 20 years old.
Okay.
And I'm divorced now, like you had said.
Yeah.
Like I had mentioned to you. By the way, females, I am available. I'm just joking.
I've seen your material. You talk as if you're available.
Yeah, well, I do. I mean, and you know what? I've been doing stand up. It's been 2 years. November 1 was 2 years. I've been in stand up, on a consistent basis now. I mean, doing
Yeah.
shows regularly.
You're working. You're working.
I'm like you, John.
You're a
do
working comic.
do okay. I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody says. The bill collector asked me for your number. I said I don't know his number, but you're doing all right. So, but going back to that, since I've been a comedian, I haven't been able to find a good woman. But I talk a lot about like online dating.
You do.
horror stories. I mean, I found some groupie ladies. One lady flashed me her boobies.
No.
I mean, we went out one night, but that was it.
Oh, and I hope he didn't give you an aneurysm.
Well, she almost gave me one.
She almost gave you.
He was into that, that.
So do you? I want to, because you have some great material on dating. But do you bring up? You got some incredible wrestling stories. Do you build that into your material?
Yeah, I haven't done much with that.
Oh my God, spring!
A lot of people ask me. Yeah, John.
Oh.
I've only done. I did one impersonation. I've done a little bit. I should probably bring more of that in. But
Yeah.
just to rewind for 1 second. So, the comedy was something I've always wanted to do, and this was my time to go for it. I started November 1st, 2022, John. I know you've been around. I don't know. I'm guessing a decade or better, or whatever have you. And you got your radio host on your radio show. I think.
Yeah.
I've been talking you up over here to some people that I know.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Thank you. I can't wait to get back to New York and hopefully
Yes.
in person or Connecticut.
Well, when you come, man, I'm coming to hunt you.
Yeah, man, let's do it. So I don't know what we can talk another time, but I don't know if you do
Yeah.
New York and Connecticut, what you're doing, but love to get down there, see you, and do because I'm at that point now that I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I made that step. There's nothing holding me back now. I want to travel. I want to get out there, pay
Right.
my dues. I mean, I've looked
Right.
into different things, even that Kill Tony show in Texas. It's a lot.
Yes.
There's some opportunities out there. But
Awesome.
yeah, so my material is basically real life material. I call it raw and real. I had people come up to me and say, "Hey, well, they think I'm a little too vulgar, or the impersonations I do a little bit overboard." I mean,
Nice.
hey, but you know what? That is, if you see me on stage, you'll know that I believe in what I'm talking about. I'm not just out there. You know how it is, John.
Yeah.
The same way. If you believe in what you're talking about, and it's like anything else. It's like the more dark that you've had in your life, the better comedian you're going to be.
No doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. And well, the comics, when you're getting into the business and as you're progressing, and I guess you talk about trying to find your voice. Your voice on stage, and you got to check Joel out on his YouTube channel because he's got some great material. Your voice is just so natural because you are you could tell it's coming from your heart. It's like, this is it, baby. Check this out. Yeah, no, you were talking, but
That's really me, man.
It is you, but you also.
I get into a lot of shit for that too sometimes, John. Some bookers are like, Joel, we can't put you on. One booker said to me the other day, like, Joel, you're a good egg. I don't know if you're a good egg, but you're a good egg. You're a good guy. We like you. You bring people in to see you. People really want to see you. They mention your name at the door, but we can't book you. I'm like,
why?
I'm like, what's going? You're like, you're too unpredictable.
That's good.
And you need to work eggs out. And one of them, you need to work clean. I'm like, dude, I take 3 showers sometimes.
You don't wash your hair.
I don't wash my hair. I mean,
that's easy.
I put lotion on my head for your show today.
Oh, look at you. So sheeny.
I like to be smooth.
So you, I don't know if this is you do this every show, but you open, I've seen some of your clips, you open up your show and you go, can I get a woo-woo?
Exactly.
You got like your signature open, which is fantastic.
Can I tell you something?
It draws the audience in, man. It just,
you like that, right?
I love it. I love it.
It's a one-legged woo-woo, okay? And I ask the people, can I get a one-legged woo-woo?
That's right. You got the leg up.
And that means something. That means be who you are. It don't matter
That's right.
Personality, who you are. Shoot for the stars and woo, let's start the show.
I love it. No, you're drawing people in and.
But I've had 2 big names approach me on that and tell me that it's a big mistake and there's no need for one-legged woo-woo.
Why?
I'm not going to drop their names, but one of them is a big manager out of California. And he said, Joel, what is that? That's a bunch of bullshit. And
really?
Someone out this way told me just the other day, this is fucking hilarious. We don't like that. We don't like one-legged woo-woo. I mean,
why would they say that? I mean, that's just ridiculous.
It is.
I like it. I think it's great.
Most people love it.
Yeah, I mean it's signature. I mean, you don't see a lot of comics doing that. You don't see a lot of people, period, doing that. But I mean, it's like your signature wrestling move. I mean, that's your.
Yeah.
No, man, I love that.
And it's something that I want people to remember me by. And I always thank the audience. I mean, everybody's got their own thing. The one-legged woo-woo I created by mistake when I first started in stand-up. When I did November 1st, 2022, I did an open mic like everybody does, open mic.
Right.
Within a month or so, they had me on a flyer, paid show, semi-paid show.
Right.
And I went on there, John, and I did one of these like this, but I didn't bring the woo-woo. And then the next show, I just woo, woo. And the people start. But when I've done some of these big shows, Johnny, brother, the people go crazy. They're yelling woo-woo before I get out there. I've had some shows with yelling one-legged.
That's fantastic. Yeah. See, good for you. See, that's how you. That's common. It's your signature. I don't give up on that. Forget about what this guy said. That's ridiculous. I love it. I want to talk about, you have a big event coming up, and any other shows we want to talk about. But there's one bit that you did, which I thought was so funny. You were talking about. You were meeting a woman, I think maybe for the first time, and you had an 8:00 date, and she had showed up at 6,
Yes.
and she was downing margaritas and eating all the food and all that. She had run a tab, and then it's a true story. I love it. And then you show up, and she's wasted, and she's already rang up a big old bill. And then she's like, here you go, man, because I have no job and all that. And you're already 2 hours in before the date even started. That is freaking classic stuff, man. That's woo-woo material, man. That is woo-woo. I love that. And your energy delivering it, it's spot on, man. You're funny. You are really funny, Joe.
The thing is, John, is that's the thing is I'm talking about real stuff, and it's. We're laughing about it, John. You and I are stand-up comedians. You're a talk show radio host. You've been in entertainment probably most of your life like I have, okay? And now you have this great show you're doing here that's building by the day. And you're on the stand-up comedy scene. You're traveling, I imagine, New York, Connecticut, wherever else you've been. Mm-hmm. And you know as well as I do, this is great. Real material is the best material.
No doubt.
No doubt. But when I get off that stage and I come back or I travel back to wherever I'm traveling to, whatever. I sit down, grab a shower, and just sit there and just think, kind of wind down and think about my gig or whatever. It's kind of a lonely road.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not joking. I mean, I haven't
No, I
had a
get it.
relationship in 2 years because women don't know how to take me. Because
You're unpredictable. You're unpredictable.
I mean, yeah, unpredictable.
The comedy guy was right. Joel, you're unpredictable.
But I get on these shows, John. Not these shows, but these apps, these dating apps.
Yeah.
And I'm on, and I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm like, Joel, you get a nice lady. I'm thinking to myself, get a nice lady. That way you can bring her to the comedy shows. It'd be nice to have a girlfriend again. It's been a couple of years since you had this. I'm thinking to myself, I get on. What do I get? More material. That's all I get.
You need to.
I just talked to this lady the other day. The conversation's 5 minutes. 4 minutes out of the 5, she talks to me about how she's adopting underprivileged animals that have special needs. She's like,
Underprivileged animals with special needs.
I
Wow.
didn't even know that. She's like, I need a special need cat, and then I got 2 special need dogs, and then I asked her, I said, how many dogs? She said, well, I got 5 dogs and 7 cats.
Oh dear.
Would you like to come over? I said, I got allergies.
Yeah. No, you need to tell her. You need to tell her. Tell her you have a special need too. Tell her you like to make love in a body cast.
You can tell you're a comedian. You go right back to it. Yeah, man.
That's it.
No,
You tell her. Now she goes, "Oh, I am so there." Well, there you go. You
I
find.
feel like I've known you forever, John. But honest to God, no. But we're laughing about it. But it's tough out there, and being a comedian's tough. And
Yeah.
then I've had some
No
hecklers.
doubt. Oh
I've had
yeah.
some hecklers. I've had some hecklers.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
No. Who is stupid enough to heckle you, man? Because you.
Not many, but there's a couple idiots.
I would heckle you, and I would have like 1,900 bodyguards surrounding me. That's the only way I would heckle you.
I think I'm a pretty laid back guy, but yeah, but sometimes when you get a heckler, you just need to know how to deal with it. We'll leave it at that.
I know it puts hair in your chest, as they say.
But you were mentioning something about Friday night.
Yes. All right. So you've got I will do it so injustice, but you got a major event coming up Friday night, November 15th, 2024. It's Showcase Pro Wrestling. Tell everyone about it.
I'm going to tell you details to what's happening right here.
All right.
Sit down and stand up.
Sit down and stand up.
John Malkin live. This is live.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sum it up like this. It's a big tag team main event match. I'm going to give you the history, the storyline of how it got to this night, okay?
All right, go.
I will tell you this. Put your bets down. Watch the show tonight when this gets on YouTube on John's channel.
Right.
Place your bets on the real deal Joel Davis and comedian Johnny Rotten to win this one.
So you can. There's a betting.
There's betting
event
on the side. I've heard there's scalpers that are going to be there. Jacking the ticket price up for ringside up to $25. You can get them $15 online. But there's going to be guys in the parking lot. We got tickets. We got tickets here. Tickets.
Where's the event being held?
It's going to be. It's not a big building. It only holds like 350 people. It's a VFW hall. A VFW hall.
In where?
Hall in Taunton, Massachusetts on English
Taunton,
Street.
okay.
Yeah, and that's this Friday night, 7:47 bell time in Taunton.
Why 7:47? Just out of curiosity.
The promoter likes that time. And, but I'm saying, no, these 2 opponents, I'll give you a hint, they're gonna get struck with lightning. See the lightning?
Oh, there's your lightning. That's your tattoo on your. Wow. Yeah. Holy smokes! That's like a full storm on that arm, man. That is.
They're gonna get struck with lightning, Johnny. They're gonna be lucky. So what ended up happening was, I want to tell all your audience right now on your show here. Back in September 13th was a Friday night.
Right.
Johnny Rotten. He's a comedian out of the state of Rhode Island.
Not the guy from the Sex Pistols.
No, this guy's name is John Harrington.
Okay. He goes by Johnny Rotten.
He became Johnny Rotten one night.
Okay. And he's a comic. He's a comic.
And he's a Rhode Island favorite. He's a big pro wrestling fan. And he said to me, I like to help people. Like I get a vibe out of you. You like to help people. I like to help people too, John. So I said to him, I said, what do you want to do? He said, I'd love to get in the wrestling ring and do a stand-up comedy gig. Said,
wow. Great idea.
So I make a call. And I call a promoter called at a Showcase Pro Wrestling. I say, can you make this happen? Fast forward, makes it happen. Johnny goes in, does his thing. I don't know if you've seen this on YouTube. I should send you.
No, I'm going to check it out.
You'll like this.
Okay.
He's doing a set, John, right?
In the rink. In the ring.
In the ring. He's
In the
doing
ring.
a set, and in the middle of a set, two of the top heels with the bad guys of Showcase Pro Wrestling, 21, 22-year-old, these guys, I mean, athletes, but going into their prime, come out into the ring, grab the microphone out of Johnny Rotten's hands, and beat him up, beat him with it, kick him, punch him in the head, and hit him pretty good.
So this wasn't planned. He had no idea this was coming?
No.
Oh, my God.
No, but then I said, after this was done, I was in the audience. I was this.
I see where this is going.
See where it's going. I get in there and I tell these guys, "You want come up? You know, what I mean, come pick on me, man. Don't you know?"
Because Johnny's your friend.
Johnny's my friend. I mean, guys smokes a pack of cigarettes a day. I mean, he's pushing 60. I mean, the only gym he goes to is his friend's gym down the road. I mean, he's not
named Jim. The only gym he goes to is a guy's house named Jim.
Exactly. So this guy had no chance against these two guys.
Right.
You know, these guys are athletes that are in the ring every
Wow.
week. So they beat him. I get in there, we clear it out, and Johnny says, "Hey, I need a tag team partner." I'm like, "Johnny, you're out of your freaking no." I said, I've been retired. I'm all done.
This is great. Great backstory. Yeah.
October, we come back to the venue. The promoter says, "Joel, this is great. This will sell tickets."
Totally.
I says, "What is my guarantee?" That's what it comes down to, payday.
Yeah, of course.
I said, "What's my guarantee?" I says, "I'm talking about this guy right here. You see this guy?
Yeah, what is that?
Benjamin Franklin."
That's Benjamin Franklin on your right
on the right.
tricep.
Over here's the cage, and Benjamin's over here.
Why Benjamin Franklin?
It says no rest for the wicked.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So I said, "What about Benjamin?" I said, and he started laughing. He said, "Joel, we got you." I said, "Okay." So October we went in. I grabbed the mic, and Johnny Rotten asked me again, "Joel, will you come out of retirement? Will you be my tag team partner?"
So you and Johnny are going to wrestle these two young Turks? Oh, this is mint.
I say, "Yes, I will."
This is mint, Joel.
November 15th. Yep, there you go, John. November 15th, back in this building, and that's my home city. I'm coming out of retirement after 13 years.
This is huge.
My friend, the comedian.
Oh. Did you guys do PR in this? Because this, I can't believe, the newspaper, are people picking this story up? This is fantastic.
A lot of people love this. You're right.
This is great. I mean, there's a movie with Mickey Rourke about a guy who came out of retirement. He was a little bit more messed up, but you know, there's a
little bit.
A little bit more. Yeah. But there's a romance to this whole thing.
There's a romance, but you got to remember now, Johnny Rotten's coming out of Rhode Island, the next state over.
Oh, man.
Love Johnny.
This is so good.
And they're calling it Rotten's Revenge, and they're also calling it One More Match. It's my one more match.
One more match.
Revenge. Main event.
Oh, my gosh.
This Friday night. Johnny Rotten
dude.
has never wrestled John in his life. Gets in the ring. He's a stand-up comedian, 57 years old, smokes a pack of cigarettes a day. Teaming up with a guy. I'm rusty. I haven't been in the ring for 14 years. I'm tagged up, and we're going against these two young upstarts.
Unbelievable.
In a grudge match to get revenge for the attack.
That's amazing. Joel, this is huge. This is huge.
I'll just tell you this real quick. I talked to Johnny Rotten last night. He seems disoriented and confused. He
smokes a pack of cigarettes a day.
He also smokes ganja too, I think. I don't know.
That may have something to do with it.
One of his best friends is Mary Jane. But he's actually talking to me on the phone just last night, John, before I come on your show here today, and he's talking about how he has a plan for this tag team match, how he's got the whole angle going, like what he wants to do, and I'm like, Johnny, I'm the ring general. I've been in the sport for freaking decades.
That's fantastic.
But I'm a fan. I'm like, you're a fan that's going to get your ass kicked. Listen to me.
Oh, my God.
He said, well, I want to start the match off. I'm like, Johnny, you better be able to tag me.
That's amazing.
Isn't it crazy? So
this is fantastic.
Behind the scenes for your viewing audience, what's going on.
This is fantastic. Oh, my God. Joel, this is going to be...
Tickets on sale now. Showcase Pro Wrestling website.
All right. You know, so where do people go to get it? And then we're going to move on to one little final thing as part of the show. Where do people go get tickets for this incredible event happening Friday night?
You're the best, John. I don't care what anybody says, John Malkin. You're a good guy.
Oh, you're too kind.
I don't care what anybody says.
Where do we go to get tickets?
Showcase Pro Wrestling website. We go to get tickets.
Showcase Pro Wrestling.
Showcase Pro Wrestling. We go to get tickets. They have $15 a ticket for this Friday night to see Real Deal Joel Davis, myself, come out of retirement, one match.
Oh, man.
Match with Johnny Rotten, a comedian. Tag team match against these two big upstarts. Main event tag match this Friday night. $15 a seat.
Oh, my
First
God.
come, first serve on ringside seats. All right, John?
Tell me you're going to be filming this, so clips will be out and about.
You're gonna see some clips. I'm so excited.
Man.
I'm eating raw eggs again.
You're going Rocky. You're going Rocky on me?
I'm going Rocky on you.
Oh,
And I'm hitting it harder than harder. And I'm gonna say
man.
something all joking aside. I know you and I have had a great time on your show today, but I want to tell you something. I'm not playing. I'm gonna be there for a reason, not the season. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna send these guys to the Sandman.
You're the real deal, baby. You are living the real deal dream, man.
Get up close and see something you've never seen before.
Oh, man, I wish I can go. What an amazing event this is going to be. But that's why I'm hoping you get clips. All right, well, Joel, this has just been an incredible show. Normally these shows are half an hour, but I'm looking at my producer Longo, and I'm like, I ain't stopped. There's just too much to talk about with this guy. This is amazing. All right, so we got one more segment of the show. I call Repeat Offender. So I'm going to throw 5 questions at you. First thing that comes to your mind, you just lay it out.
Like that, yeah.
Question number 1 for Joel, the real deal Davis. Question number 1, my friend. If you could invite anyone over to your house for dinner, dead or alive, who's coming to your house? Dead or alive? Right. Lot to talk about.
Yeah, I'd like to get in with him, man.
Lot to talk about. Now, would you put on the robe or the body cast?
Anything he needs.
Whatever it takes.
All those blondes in, I'll do whatever he needs, man.
Okay.
I'll wear the robe over the body cast.
I love it. That's keeping it stiff. All right. Question 2. If you can tour with any comic, dead or alive, who would you tour with?
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, right? Yeah. That'd be insane. Good for you. All right. Question number 3. I think I might know this answer, but I'm going to let you go. If you were a ghost, who would you spend the most time haunting?
If I was a ghost?
Yeah. Some people say they're ex-wives.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I mean,
anybody. Dead or alive?
My ex-landlord.
Your ex-landlord. Okay.
No asshole.
There you go. All right. Make his life miserable. All right. 2 more questions, man. If a genie gave you one wish, what would you wish for?
One wish. I wish would be to make it in stand-up comedy. I really want it.
Yeah. Why not? Good for you. That's a great wish.
That's my answer. I mean, you said
That's a great wish. Why not? All right, last question for Joel, the real deal Davis from Massachusetts, if you can't tell. If you had to wear a sign around your neck for the rest of your life, what would it say? Any ideas?
Live free or die.
Live free or die. Why not? That's on the back of a license plate. That's like a state flag. Is that New Hampshire? Yeah. That's New Hampshire.
I would say I'd wear that sign because I believe that. I mean,
live free or die.
The way they want to live, man, or just call it quits. You know.
I love it, man. That's good. Wow, this was, this was such a pleasure having you on the show, man. I can't thank you enough. What I love about the show, I get to meet some just really cool people, but then there's like really cool people. You are a cool mofo, man. You are the real deal, Joel Davis.
Appreciate it, John.
I
appreciate it, John Malkin, and all the best to you and your health and everything.
Thanks, man. I look forward to sharing a stage, not a ring. I'm not going to share a ring with you because I'm very fragile. I am not going to do that. But I will share a stage with you all day long, man. I look forward to that day.
Let's do that sometime.
I would love that, man. And God, best of luck. And you and Johnny Rotten, you take out those 2 guys, man. Just crush them. Crush them.
We're going to teach them respect.
Are you going to give them a woohoo? Are you going to do the woohoo in the ring, or is that just
I'm gonna do the one-legged woo woo on their faces.
woo woo? Oh, yes.
Boom.
That's your signature move, man.
they're gonna
Oh,
be-
you got a big star on your elbow, man.
Big star right across
Man.
the face. Let me tell you something. You got to remember something. I'm not only a former professional wrestler. I'm
Yeah.
a former MMA fighter. I'm
No,
not
you're the-
playing.
You are
We're gonna
dangerous.
We're gonna win. What's that?
You are dangerous, man.
We're gonna win Friday night, my man.
We'll win Friday
We're
night.
gonna do a shout out on social media Friday night, the God channel, and sit down, stand up. Friday night, you're gonna hear. We're gonna say, "We got this one, Johnny
love
Malkin.
I love it.
Woo, you're a good guy. And
you're
you
the
got a
best,
great
man.
show, brother. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. This has been another incredible sit-down stand-up with me, John Malkin. And if you do want to find me, I'm at John Malkin Live. I do have a new YouTube channel out that I just posting all these shows on. The Real Deal Joel Davis. Joel, the Real Deal Davis. Your show will be posted on YouTube if my producers can figure out how. I'm teaching them. There's something called the internet. It's new. Longo's not even looking at me. He's young. He's like, no, man, I'm gonna teach you. Okay. Thank you for coming on the show, man. Best of luck to you. Best luck to you, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. You are funny. Check this guy out, Joel the Real Deal Davis. For those listening on this incredible show, I am John Malkin. Sit down, stand up. We are out of here.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Sit Down Stand Up with John Malkin. Make sure to follow John on social media at John Malkin Live. See you next time, and don't forget to think while you laugh.